him. That's all done out of a single 2x4 with the scraps from cutting it. You glue to the bottom to hold the pieces in place. And so we can see some of this stuff.
Oh, and it's colored by putting it in the oven.
It's colored by baking it in the oven. Yeah, correct. That's a new piece that just done. That's also a Steve Good pattern.
That must be Rob. Huh?
And the silhouette is a new piece that just done. That's also Steve Good. And that's just a piece of walnut plywood that I stained as dark as I could get it stained. Steve.
Oh, thank you. Help me out.
I think that's the only thing up there that is not a Steve Good pattern of mine. That's a cypress. It's got beautiful grain on it. The wobble bowl, a lot of us have done. It's Steve Goods, and then that's Lucky Dragon.
Do you know what a wobble bowl is? This is actually cut out of one single piece of wood. So the piece of wood was this size, and you do all the cuts, and then you take them out and spiral them.
The other side, Steve, though. That side. That size of the wood, not the bottom.
Right.
This side. You can do this.
Stretch it.
Well, that's mine. I made one for the wife, and then of course the 4 kids had to have one too. So.
Uh-oh. And that's a 3D effect.
I did that by putting the picture on 4 pieces of 3/16 Baltic birch plywood, and then when I cut each figure out, then I take out different layers to raise and lower.
Okay.
The edges? Are the edges painted?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Just a kind of a shadow effect.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. I did it out of, I believe it's salted maple. Because I got the wood from Jack Morris. There's not as many cuts in Judy Gale's pattern as there is in her picture, though.
Did you use a wonder wheel to make you crease?
Yes, I'm sorry, I did use a wonder wheel to make all the pieces.
And for those of you that are new, Judy Gale Roberts is the Intarsia master of the world. So if you like to do those type of patterns, you want to look up her name. She's amazing.
That's her piece on the wall.
Right, so right here.
She made that one. Joy made that one.
Joy made this one.
Yeah.
She made this one. Okay, squirrel.
That's the squirrel and the kitten, two that I made for my doctor's nurses. They got to talk to me one day and found out what I did, and I showed them one of my cards, and they fell in love with it, so I decided I'll surprise them with that next time I do it. In the dolphins, I have a friend down in Tifton, Georgia, that visited me, and he saw a couple of small dolphins hanging on my bathroom wall, and he came out and said he needed a set of those a little larger that he could give to a friend of his that lives on the coast. So I made that for them. I just finished that this morning. And the Black Panther, I made one several years ago. I had it hanging on my gallery at home, and I had this lady and her husband that were very nice to us and brought a bunch of food over to our house when we needed it. And I was trying to think of something I could do, and when I saw her looking at that and stroking it, and she said, "I sure do love that." So I decided to make that for her. So I just finished that, and I'll deliver that to her this week.
We basically got what, walnut?
That's a Peruvian walnut, and the white, of course, is aspen. The limb is what's the name? Poplar.
Yeah.
And the black is cheese on that.
That's fine.
That's shoe polish.
Ebony's getting too expensive for George.
Yeah.
Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Yeah.
What about the tongue?
Hmm?
The red, the tongue.
Oh, the tongue is cedar,
Cedar.
red cedar.
About the only thing he cheats on nowadays is black.
Yeah.
else over there? I can't see.
Okay, that's mine. I had to make a gift. My wife was visiting a cousin in New York. So I said, what does she like? She likes cats. So I made that, but my wife didn't like it, so she didn't give it to her.
How many of us have been in that boat?
Yeah.
So, and in that, I could like simulated a mirror. It could be a picture. You can put a clock there in the corner, whatever you want.
Jack,
Like,
Jack.
that's one of Steve's patterns that I really like.
See that? Oh, that, okay.
It really looks nice when the lights are on.
That's an Edison, what they call an Edison light bulb. You can get them at Home Depot now, but they're supposed to look like the old Edison style light bulbs. Kind of a 1940s feel.
That look better? Okay.
Okay, that's the music box, my first music box, and it's also my first 3D cut on the top. My wife painted the snowman.
Early Christmas. Okay, that's nice.
That was mine. That's one of those Steve patterns that I'm frugal and I changed it a little bit to fit the size test tube that I had. So, and then the other two just kind of a little bit left, pulled up. That seems to be my popular piece. I borrowed Sherry's from her here. She keeps it. The other one is my wife's. I gave one away here for a Christmas party. That was a mistake. I wound up having to make about 6 of them. So that seems to be the favorite one I have. And then I don't have the one that I had the night that you voiced in.
Skype.
Yeah.
There's one more, right?
Two. That one actually was an experiment I tried to make without an electrical cord. If you actually pick it up, there is a closet light in it that if you press down, it'll light and shine up through it. And again, it'll look better in the dark, but just press down the middle of the light. So it was made more as kind of a centerpiece or a mantelpiece. So, just wanted to make something portable and temporary, so you can have cords strung all over the place.
I like that side. That's really nice.
Yeah, the sides are kind of a pattern I stole and broke up and put back together again.
Did you stack cut them sides or one at a time?
After I was done with the second one, I'm going, why didn't I stack cut the side? So, to answer your question, no, I did not.
All in there.
Next time.
That's mine also, that's one of Steve's patterns. You can pick it up.
Turn it straight, yeah.
No, hold it straight up.
Oh, Johnny.
Who's she?
Says Johnny Cash. Okay. Did I miss any show and tell? Anybody came in late and didn't get it up here?
Well, the vase on the right hand side, that Mr. Jack.
And it's got a hole in it, so that makes it worth more money, right?
Drink fast, huh?
That has walnut oil finish on it, which you can get at the grocery store, salad dressing department. Easy to do, makes a nice finish, and you can always put more on there. About foolproof.
Then,
That's the whole.
That's a little piece of wood I got from my son's backyard. And I've been playing around with hollow forms and trying to go thin and stuff like that. Still, see, that's the BO buffing system for a finish. I don't even know what kind of wood it is. Came down in the winter. I'm not very good at identifying. Might be maple.
FORD, huh? down on the road, Ted.
I made a lot of bigger stuff that put the pith right down the center of the form. And even if I get it dead on, I get a lot of cracking. So I just pulled this one off the side and really reduces the diameter of what you can make.
That's wood turning.
Yep.
And when I get bored, which I a lot nowadays, I turn pins. And if I'm really bored, I turn more pins. Okay, and I've been bored lately, so I've been turning pins. I had that pin right there. I got yelled at. I got the pin that was in the center. I tried to make a deal with the. I went to Holly Davidson over there, Fraser, and said, listen, I'd like to make a deal where I'll do a pin for you. I'll do 1,500 pins with the Harley Davidson logo on it, okay? In exchange, you give me a Road King. How's that sound, okay? And they said, no. But they don't make a Harley Davidson pin, and that's told me that I cannot legally sell that pin. So, but I will take a donation of $10,000. I turn pins, so that's what I've done. That's what you do, so.
Okay.
It's all natural wood except for the blue jay, and of course I had to dye that.
Yeah.
And the pattern came from a woman in Canada. And I'll never order another one.
Who was she?
Karina somebody. The pattern was expensive, but when I got it, she sent it to me in a PDF.
Yeah.
So you had to go and print each piece in a smaller size in order for me to put it in my computer for me to work with it. And it was real hard getting the pieces to fit together the way they were supposed to. Even on her pages, they didn't fit together right.
Okay. Very nice.
It's good, very nice.
Yeah.
So how many hours did you put into that?
Maybe 20.
Whatever, you gotta come explain this one.
Okay.
Today's show is how to panel small parts. Someone at Rob's church says we need some crosses to get out at Easter. And this is the size of the cross. And the question is, how do you cut crosses that size? Couldn't cut them on the table saw for some reason. And the bandsaw, my fingers were too close. So what we did, I came up with a square jig with the cross off-centered. If you can see that. So I put the center piece exactly the same size as the rough stock. I cut it all on one side, then I take the piece out, turn it over. When I turn it over, the pieces match up and it cuts across.
Took a couple of days to come up with a pattern thing on there. You know, we had several jigs that he made ahead of time, and they weren't working right. And she was gonna pick them up the next morning, because she had to give them out the next morning. And, you know, Larry brought them to my house at 7:45. And I said, how long did you stay in that? And he looked at the clock and said, 7:45. So we worked all night to get this thing done. I told her, you know, we just might not have them.
So the distance from each corner to the point of the cross is the same. So I've got a block on this end and a block against the bandsaw. So you just keep turning this around until all the pieces are cut. It just took me a little while to calculate the distances to be exactly right.
Larry's the jig man.
That's a fixture.
It's a fixture, I'm sorry. All right.
Put that on, sure.
Yeah. Jig man, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fixture, not a jig.
All right,
That was
please.
fine. I did the rest of it, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and the three wise men before Christmas. And that was the last part of the set of patterns, so I just finished it. That's in tar circuit, all natural wood.
These aren't thin pieces, by the way. Guess you glued pieces together to get them that thick?
Right, it cut a pattern for the front, a pattern for the back,
Okay.
and put them together, and then glue them together.
Yeah, the front and the backs are different. Okay. University of Missouri. With a degree in a minor in marketing and finance.
Agriculture, marketing, and finance. Yeah, okay. That's an unusual combination.
And she's a marketing manager for a farm
Oh, okay.
and very active in farming for years now.
Okay, that's good.
I'm in school getting away at work.
All right, the flag case, who did this?
Oh, that's mine.
Okay.
That's a flag case I made. I had my dad's flag for for a couple of years, and I wanted to put something to display, and I found this plan. It's all made out of solid maple. The angles and everything are are trickier to cut than what it looks. And it's all put together with splings. There's no nails or anything except for the little bit of trim that's on the front. There's a couple nails that we left.
Okay, those of you who don't know, and we used to have a picture on the wall that's disappeared after 9/11. We had a project where we made a bunch of these. I don't even remember how many, Rob. Do you remember how many we made? Or were you around when we made those?
No, actually, Bob and I made that one and a few others for a class we did for a Saturday class. When Jack asked about it the other day, I had 4 or 5 of them still around. Gave him a couple of those.
Bob, do you remember how many we made?
Somewhere in the high teens, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we had over 20, but it might have been.
I was thinking roughly 20. Finally, we got this piece here. It's Bobby's.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. What he's talking about is it's the top is put on with Miller dowels. So I helped him drill all the holes, and then he pounded in all of the Miller dowels and cut them off and sanded them. But that's all from the salvaged lumber that I have, the Tomorrow. There might be a piece of Epi in there too. But
Good morning.
he went over with me to the storage, and we picked out some boards, and then I helped him rip them on the table saw, and then he used the miter saw to cut them to length, and then I did all the router work on the edges, but he did everything else, the sanding and everything, using big power belt sander.
Yes.
Yeah. Took him a couple times to figure out that it'll run away from you if you don't. But he figured out, so he's coming along on this. And this is gonna go to the auction.
My granddaughter called me and says, I got to have some of these things that what the word.
They're crochet.
Crochet needles. Crochet or something like that.
Yeah, crochet needles.
And spent about 10 minutes to make the thing, but about an hour to get that little chip out down at the bottom. But anyway, that's supposed to be the hottest thing.
How many of those could you destroy and try to make that little hook?
Yeah.
I mean, a cutter like you couldn't get that chip out? Wrong grain, wrong wood, huh?
I sanded on it, twizzled on it.
So how'd you finally do it?
Well, just grinding it out. That's a miniature round saw, about an 1/8 inch diameter. That helped a lot.
Well, so you went up using a Dremel and,
I don't help.
oh. Oh,
You
did
didn't make
one
a
of those.
Dremel, so.
I do have one thing.
Question on that, I wonder if you could, cut that hook in the square blank before you started.
You probably could.
And then turn, you know what I'm saying, then turn it. I just don't know if it be so thin down there, you'd have a problem, but it would be like me cutting on the scroll saw.
I sent her a picture of it last night, and I think she, I thought she was going to have a holiday. Here's the okay.
Are they gonna be long enough? That's the other thing.
That's what how long crochet was.
Yeah, these are taking over from the long ones, I think.
There's a kit that you make the wood, handles, and they've already got the tips are already there. There's a kit that they sell. I've sold 3 or 4 of them.
That would've saved you a long time, a lot of money, a long time.
Who did the spoons? Nobody?
It's mine.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a spoon with slam. It's like love spoon. It's very old British tradition spoon. Tradition do spoons and. Next, 2 spoons. This is I saw its design on the internet, and 3 spoons. It's done from for this basswood, and 1 spoon this tail fish tail. This is spoon done. From wood pellets. I don't know what kind of wood it's used in pellets. If somebody knows, I would appreciate to know. But this is pretty hard wood. And it's used not just only knife and couple gouges. That's it.
how'd you scoop them out?
It's gouges number 3, number 4, 5, like that. It's deep. Yeah.
Wood carving dog.
What do you finish?
What's the finish?
Finished, I used in Home Depot lacquer.
Lacquer.
Yeah.
Midwest, they sell Midwest.
It's it.
Not really.
Well, I guess that shows the expert and the beginner's level of spoon.
Yeah, but you can eat more with that one.
Well, yeah, it's fun. It's used, literally. I mean, the spoon is made from box elder, and yes, it's finished with walnut oil only, so no shine. However, it is literally in use. So my breakfast cereal is used with that spoon. Was green wood, so it was fun to make. And amazingly easy to carve, really. So the only thing that is sanded is the inside of the bowl.
That was mine. Baby elephant, got a pad off online. It's got an 1/8" Baltic birch that no, I did not make these things.
Probably love your Michaels, right?
Hobby Lobby, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know, Hobby Lobby and Michaels both often have these frames on sale. You know, you can get them fairly cheap. Not much point in making one. Yeah.
Those there are mine, made them for my 2 previously in the Navy and the other one in the Army.
Don't get the packages mixed up.
My wife is into butterflies, so I was looking for something a little bit unusual for her, so that's what I came up with.
That's your own pattern?
Yeah.
It's on the wall. Stand straight up.
That there's mine also. Pattern I found online, was playing with it, modified it a couple of times, and made it out of cherry. My wife doesn't like the light wood, so I went ahead and stained it dark for her.
You were busy this week.
Yeah, really. Almost as busy as Rob.
I just point at the other guys to do it.
Got one straight.
Cats.
And one of my wife's girlfriends is into cats, and she had a birthday, and I went ahead and found that series of patterns online and made it for her, and have gone ahead and sold 8 more since.
So does your staff have those?
Actually not, because they all wanted something different.
What kind of wood is that?
That is bird's eye maple.
Okay.
Dan, the length of that kind of looks like maybe a hanging, or what was the design for?
It's a big bookmark.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a hanger on it.
Not yet. I have to go ahead and put hangers on them. I'm going to put hangers on with CA since the wood is so thin.
So the idea is for it to be a wall hanging?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's mine. When we had our meeting last month, we found out that Steve Good's wife is a Gone with the Wind fanatic, and I thought since we might want him again next year, and the wife probably has a little bit of say-so in that household, I thought I would make this, so Rob was kind enough to give me some wood that he had purchased, which is curly maple, which the lumberyards really don't like, because the normal people that come in there for maple don't want to deal with that curly maple stuff. So Rob had some, so what we did is made it a 1/2 inch. And Rob said, well, as long as you make one for me. So I stack cut 1/2 inch curly maple and came up with the 2 of them. Cut with a flat blade. And the interesting part about that, for those that have done any of that, is getting the stack together so it doesn't move, okay? You got a 1/2 inch curly maple and you don't want it to move. And so what I did is I put 1 strip of blue tape around the top and the bottom, 1 strip on each side, and then set it down on a hard surface, and I pin nailed every one of those pieces, pin nailed through my pattern on every one, so I didn't have it, when I cut it and finished cutting, it didn't flip up, so I didn't have to worry about it breaking anything up. And since I was using flat blades and I was 90 degrees, I could just lift the pattern up and it would just fall right out.
All right, any other show and tell?